So they say that I don't live in reality. Isn't that something? And guess what? Guess what? I actually agree with them. Maybe I don't live in reality. Maybe I do need to quote unquote grow up, right? But maybe the case is that I think that you could actually be successful. They say not everyone thinks like that. Everyone is not me. But, but I don't care about everyone. I just care about you. Welcome to another episode of Candid Conversations, hosted by yours truly, Tech Coach Ralph, where we're in Junior Twin. In today's episode of Candid Conversations, I'm going to talk about I'm going to be talking about some comments and stuff that I got about a video a clip that I released, and the feedback was, the way that I see things, it's not like that, and I don't live in reality, and I need to grow up. And I found it pretty funny, but I just wanted to expand it out to the greater picture because I've heard this from a lot of different people of like the way that I speak and the way that I see things. I guess it's unrealistic. It's not like I don't live in reality, and that I expect too much. I guess I don't know, but so let's jump into it. Let's not waste any time. Let's jump into it. All right. So is it that I say things that seem way too hard to accomplish? Well, I don't think so because the things that I say, I actually accomplish it. When I set out a goal, I create a strategy to go out and get it. So I don't believe the things that I say are too hard to accomplish. I think they are actually they might take a lot of effort and a lot of work, but I actually believe that they are very, very accomplishable because I accomplish everything that I set out to do. It might take some time, and guess what? I don't mind. I don't mind taking the time to do something that I say I want to do. I see way too many people who set out it's a dream actually, right? Because I would like to do this. I'd like to get into cybersecurity. I'd like to get into quality assurance. I would love to get into software development. I'd love to get into cloud engineering, and the list goes on and on and on and on. And then I don't hear from them, and then a year later, they still wish to get into exactly what they said last year. And going into 2025, I don't know if I don't think it's me. I don't think it's me. I I agree that I don't live in reality, but I think I don't live in reality because I want you to be successful, and I believe that you can actually be successful. Now the question is, do you want to be successful? Because success takes work. Success takes a lot of hard work, a lot of early mornings, and a lot of long nights. And I believe that most people are not willing to do what it takes. Now, the question is, are you most people or are you an individual who actually wants better for yourself? Now, that is the tricky question because you have a decision to make. Now, most people, and if you include yourself in most people, then so be it. But most people will say that they want something. Then, when it's time to wake up early, you might have to wake up at 4 o'clock in the morning to go out there and get it. You're like, maybe I'll start next week. It's not even tomorrow. Maybe I will start next week. See, I do things for myself that other people aren't willing to do for themselves. And it doesn't have to be exactly what I'm doing. It's exactly what you say that you want to do and that you need to do. I think what happens a lot of times is people hear these fancy names and titles on social media, and they're like, "Oh yeah, you know what?" And they see the bag that goes along with it. They're like, "Oh, I want to do that." And then you say, "Well, this is what it's going to take to get it." And now they're like, "Oh, I don't know about that. I don't know about that." So is it my fault that I see things in a different way? and I see things that are actually accomplishable. I'll give you a quick example. For my Saturday morning show, The Men Lie, Women Lie, Numbers Manipulate, where we review the weekly economic numbers, tune in on Saturday mornings. So for that, like it was just a spur of the moment, like because every Monday when we review the news for our morning show, and I was like, you know what, we never actually follow up on the weekly economic data. We just read it, but then we don't see what it's about. And then we started every Saturday morning going over these numbers and educating ourselves so that we're not just susceptible to just what we are being told. So we actually started doing the work ourselves. And then from there, we're like, you know what? We should build something that we can quickly access, like what these economic indicators mean, get a good example, and then we go review the report. So from that, we ended up building a whole application. But that's because I actually said, you know what, let's go out there and do something. And then one thing led to another that led to another. Just now we're actually working on deploying it on Google Cloud Platform. So all these different things that came out of one little spark of an idea. So don't tell me that, it's too hard to accomplish. Everyone is not me. Because guess what? I didn't need to do this. But by doing this, so many different learning opportunities came out, from learning more about the economy, from learning more about building an application with React, from learning more about building microservices, from learning more about DevOps and using Google Cloud Platform. I've never used Google Cloud Platforms, their DevOps type stuff, their container type stuff. But I was able to learn so much in a short amount. It's been about maybe 2 or 3 months that we've been working on this, and we've built this whole entire thing out. And then just last week, we started integrating AI into it to generate more examples on the fly based on someone's particular industry that they're in. So I could be live, and I ask somebody in the chat, hey, what industry you're in, and I can just put that in there, and boom, right there on the show, we get a different example based on that person's industry. But I could have had the idea of, well, it's unrealistic that I can build this and I still have a full-time job and a family and all this type of stuff, and I need to sleep. My 8 hours of sleep are so important. Maybe that's unrealistic, but guess what? I guess my reality is different than your reality, because my reality is to get up, go out there and get it. And then when it's all said and done, then I'll get some rest with whatever time is left. But I still don't believe I'm where I want to be. I don't think I'll ever be where I want to be, because where I want to be continues to move and evolve. 90% of the things that I've learned in the past year, I didn't really need to learn them, but it makes me better, makes me more valuable. See, I think the reason that people say I don't live in reality is because they want to be valuable without actually adding value. Yeah, it sounds a bit harsh, doesn't it? But maybe that's why they tell me to grow up, that I don't live in reality. Maybe it's because I want you to be successful. Also, I'll give you a counter story, right? A friend of mine that I haven't spoken to in a while, but we grew up together ever since middle school, and helped him out like with his career path for the most part, and ended up getting into the wine and spirits industry, and very, very knowledgeable. Like I'm telling you, you can give him a wine. He was a wine sommelier, right? And you can give him a wine, and he'll tell you all the details about the wine without even seeing the label. It was that good. And it had to be about 10 years ago, maybe even longer. I said, you know what? We can capitalize off of your expertise in the wine industry and in the spirits industry, but particularly the wine industry. I'm telling you, they had flown him out to France and everything to meet with these with the vineyard owners and stuff like that. Now we can capitalize off of this because there were not like from where we're from, there was not many people in the industry, and there was a market there that was just waiting for it, and a very good personality as well would be a great online personality. And I suggested the idea like, hey, why like, and this is why YouTube is fairly like fairly young. And I'm like, okay, well, we can actually capitalize off this. Let me manage all the things in the background because he was not technical whatsoever. But I'm like, all I need you to do is go and talk about wine stuff, right? And we like, there's so much that we could do. Never came around to it. I was ready. I am always ready. I am always ready. And I'm like, oh, we could do this, we could do that. And just I could see where YouTube was going at the time. I'm like, we could do this, we could do that. Let me handle all of this for you. I'll figure all the technical stuff, all the business type stuff. I just need you to be the personality and share your expertise with the people because you can be making recommendations. I had so many ideas. I had so many ideas. Never got around to it. And I wouldn't be surprised if now it's still like they're still, not that they're in a bad spot, but they're still in the same spot. And now you'll tell me that, oh well, not everyone is you, but that's fair. That's fair. But then don't complain about it. I don't believe in complaining. I don't believe in complaining. I believe in fixing your situation by your hard work and your effort. If you don't like something, change it, you know? And here is the reason. Here is the reason that I see things the way that I see things, and the reason that I don't live in reality, and the reason that I need to grow up. Because there's another side to it. I believe that competition is absolutely essential. Competition is healthy. And here's the funny thing, right? Most of the people who will say this stuff to me, number one, they're men. But number two, they love sports. They love rap battles and stuff like that. They love competition. Except when they are the competitor. They do not want to be the competitor. So now when I'm like, oh, just go out there and get it, like, and it's like, oh no, 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 it's not for everyone. Well, it's for the people that you love to watch. It's for the teams that you love. You love the competition there. You get really, really upset when your team sucks. You get really, really happy when your team wins. But for you to be in the competitor seat, you don't have the effort. You don't have the discipline. So you think that like so apparently you're living your reality through somebody else. You see what they have and you want that. And I say, well, why don't you go out there and get it? I used to watch sports all the time. I would use football season to get into basketball season because I like basketball more than I like football. But I'd watch football, and then once basketball starts, I'll transition to basketball, right? And then watch the games. I watch a bunch of different games, follow the scores, all that type of stuff. I don't even know who's playing, who's on what team nowadays. Somebody asked me just yesterday, "What do you think about LeBron James taking a leave of absence?" I'm like, "He is. I don't know. I don't care. I don't follow. I don't follow these players and these teams. I might look at the standings every now and then, but I'm not. I'm not. And why is that? And why is that? Because I became my own competitor. I'm like, well, I am I guess, an amateur athlete, I would say, right? But I go to competitions for jujitsu and stuff like that. So I'm like, I'm focused on my training. I'm focused on learning from other competitors, from my professor, from my training partners, and all that. From studying, I'm focused on the content that I'm creating, on learning new things, adding more value wherever that I go, whether I'm on the mats, whether I'm at work, whether I'm online on the streams, whether I'm in a Discord, just adding value. And that's my competition. And Competition is healthy. So I'm always looking, I'm always setting another target. Once I surpass one competitor, I'm like, okay, cool. Who's next? Who's next? And it's not like I'm a rival of anybody. It's just in my mind, I need to set a target. I'm like, okay, we've hit this milestone. Who's up next? That person I was competing with, they're gone. Who's up next? Always looking forward. But I see things differently. And I always try to bring people along for the ride with me. But guess what? I am always the only one in the car who ends up at the destination. They fall off. I'll give you another example, which I have so many examples of this, right? And this is actually so one of these examples. I was scrolling through YouTube one time, and there was some video titled, "Oh, make this much money a day with APIs," or something like that, right? It might have been it was something with dad, I don't know, something like that. And I sent it to a friend of mine, and they were like, "Oh, wow, that's cool. We should do that." And in order to do it, we have to learn Python. At that time, I didn't really know Python. We have to learn Python, and then we have to learn some data type stuff with machine learning, all this type of stuff, right? And I said, "Well, you want to do it?" And we're like, "Yeah." So we set out a schedule like every Sunday morning around 8 a.m. We would get on a call and discuss what we did, what we did, and if we got stuck on anything, if everything is making sense. And I was able to actually get through the course. And I don't know to this day if they've ever finished it off. But now by learning Python, I was able to land a position early last year doing QA for a company who uses primarily Python. Did I learn Python in order to do automation for a company? No. I learned it to learn like more about Python to actually go and do the and guess what? That thing that I saw on YouTube that sparked me learning Python, I didn't even go after it. But now you can see me online navigating through JavaScript and Node and all that, and navigating through Python, writing code in Python. But they fall off. Every single person that I say, you know what? Let's take the web development course where we're gonna learn about React, HTML, CSS, Mongo, Node, JavaScript, authentication, and the list goes on and on and on. Right? I'll post a link to that course, to the web development course and the Python course in the description of this video, in case you want to actually level up. But if you're gonna quit, right in the middle of it, or even at the beginning of it, then I don't know if it's really worth it for you. But I try to bring so many people along, and then they just fall off. It's like they get swatted like mosquitoes. But I keep going. And then I end up being able to use what I've learned to do more. If I didn't take that web development course 2-3 years ago, then I wouldn't be I would have so much trouble now building the economic dictionary that we've been building. And a lot of times, the thing that spark these learning endeavors is because someone else wanted to learn something because they had some goal or dream or aspiration or whatever. And I'm like, well, I'll do it with you because I'm trying to keep them accountable. But then every week after week, oh, this came up, oh, that came up, oh, I was supposed to do these 5 sections, but I only did 2, yada 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 yada. But somehow, with a family, with a full-time demanding job, I'm still able and adding in jujitsu and adding in creating content, live streaming, adding in coaching. I'm still able to get it done. It's actually quite amazing to me because if I look at my calendar, if I look at my schedule, it is packed with things that I need to do. But then other people, when I'm like, all right, I need you to get this done, or I just need you to do what you say that you're going to do. Oh, I didn't have time. Oh, I was busy. Excuses, 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 right? So I don't know. I don't get it. I don't get it. And here's the crazy part, right? Here's the crazy part. I wish that you would surpass me. And I celebrate when you surpass me, right? I want you to do better than me because then that just gives me more motivation to inch, like, all right, what can I do to get better, to inch past you? Well, and then now I want you to say, okay, what can I do better to inch past me, right? Like to keep going, to like, you know, like that strong competition that, because it's not that I want to defeat you or crush you. I want us to be better. I want you to win. I want you to be successful. And if me wanting you to be successful is me not living in reality, then I guess I will proudly take that I don't live in reality, because I don't want people to be victims and complaining and mad about their lot in life. I want you to work, and I want you to, and I want to celebrate your success. On my streams, whenever somebody tells me they do an accomplishment, I celebrate them. So proud of them. I will stop this. If somebody says, "Oh, I just passed the certification," I will stop the stream and we will celebrate. Might even play a song. Oh, I just got this job in the field that I was looking. I will stop and celebrate all of that type of stuff. And there are some people that I am waiting to celebrate because I know that they are great, and now it is our job to prove to everyone else that they are great, that they add value. But it's not going to come with whining and complaining and all that, right? So I want you to beat me, and then I want to take that. I'm like, you know what? Now I have to go and beat you, and let's just go back and forth, and that way we actually win together. When I'm doing jujitsu and somebody actually submits me, I'm actually, you won't believe this, I am happy. I don't get mad. I'm like, oh wow, they got the best of me. They got the best of me. They did something that I didn't see coming, and now I learned. I'm like, all right, let me try not to let that happen again. Some people though, they will get really, really upset if somebody submits them, whether they get choked out, whether they get like some type of lock, and they get really upset. And I'm like, no, no, everything is a learning opportunity. And because of those perceived losses, that's why people quit. And I don't think you need to quit. I think you need to learn from it. My professor always tells us we either win or we learn. There'll be some people who compete and then they end up losing, and they post a message, oh, I'm so sorry that I lost and I let people down. I've never done that. I'm like, I went out there and I did what I had to do, and if I lost, then I learned from that. I learned from my mistakes and I move forward. As soon as I'm done with the competition, like I was saying earlier, right? When I surpass somebody that I claimed as my competition, I'm already looking on to the next. I forget what's in the rear view. See, it might be that so many people are living in the past. It's like they're driving forward by looking in their rearview mirror. And me, I'm like, I don't need a rearview mirror. I just want to see what's in front of me. I have one direction and it's forward. And maybe that is the reality that I don't live in. Maybe that's the unrealistic part. And if that's the case, sorry, not sorry, because I believe that you can be successful. I don't care that for 99% of the people that's not the case. I only care about you. I only care about you. And I think that you can do it. If you're this far into this video, I believe that you can actually do it. Now the question is, do you believe in it? Do you have the work ethic to do it? I believe you do. I believe that you do, but maybe you don't want to do it. But if you don't want to do it, then don't even say it, because nothing, absolutely nothing, should be and will be given to you. Because if it is given to you, it comes at a cost, and I don't think that you are willing to pay the price on the other side. So that's why I don't take anything. I'm like, I just look to add value, and I don't complain. I just work, and I know that it's going to pay off. I do things myself. I do things myself because I have a vision and a plan, and based on the things that I learn, then I'm able to share it with you, and I hope that you can take that and you can make the most of it, and then hopefully share it with somebody else who needs it. If that's me not living in reality, then by all means, so be it. I will gladly, proudly live in this unrealistic world that I have created, but still be able to accomplish all the things that I say that I'm going to accomplish. It is what it is. All right. But that is it for today. Thank you guys so much for tuning in to another episode of Candid Conversations. Hopefully that was insightful. Hopefully you got a little preview of like my mind and, the examples that I've given, especially on the one about the wine. I'm really disappointed about that one because I know that one could have been so great, but it's probably too late at this point. Probably too late, right? But, it is what it is. It is what it is. I'm working with some other people, trying to convince them like, hey, you could, there are so many things that you can do, but do they want it? I don't know. It takes discipline. Maybe people don't have the discipline they don't want to put in the discipline, because everyone can be disciplined, right? So who knows? We shall see. But for you, if you are listening to this message and you've gotten this far, if there's nothing else you take, remember this. I believe that you can do it. Nobody owes you anything. It's your job to go out there and get it. All right. I'm going to get out of here. Thank you guys so much again. On your way out, like the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell so you can know every time we go live and drop new content. If you need one-on-one coaching, maybe to help you get over the hump, maybe to bring you into my reality, since I don't live in many other people's reality, check out techcoach.dev. I have one-on-one coaching that I can help you level up, as well as exclusive content that will help revolutionize the way that you see things and the strategies that you employ, so that you can take it to that next level, and then we can live in reality together. All right? With that being said, have a wonderful, wonderful week. This is Tech Coach Ralph. We are out.
They say I don't live in reality, and dreams I float like a stream. They say I need to grow up, who cares? Life's a wild, crazy thing. Sorry for thinking you can be successful. Magic in the air we breathe. I believe too much in you, girl, more than the things they preach. They say I don't see their ways, never colored inside their lines, but I'm dancing on the edge to my own rhythm, feeling fine. Not everyone is not me, and that's my favorite part. We are wild, untamed, and free, with fire inside our hearts. Whispering tales of dreams on a road less traveled by. Our footsteps light as feathers in the glowing sunset sky. Sorry for thinking you can be successful. Magic in the air we breathe. I believe too much in you, girl, more than the things they preach. their ways, never colored inside their lines. But I'm dancing on the edge to my own rhythm fiends they preach. They say I don't see their ways, never colored inside their lines. But I'm dancing on the edge to my own rhythm fiends they preach. Not everyone is not me, and that's my favorite part. We are wild, untamed, and free, with fire inside our hearts. Whispering tales of dreams on a road less traveled by. Our footsteps light as feathers in the glowing sunset sky. Not everyone is not me, and that's my favorite part. We are wild, untamed, and free, with fire inside our hearts. Whispering tales of dreams on a road less traveled by. Our footsteps light as feathers in the glowing sunset sky. Whispering tales of dreams on a road less traveled by. Our footsteps light as feathers in the glowing sunset sky. Not everyone is not me,